Okay, really nice because I haven't really conducted a class in a very long time. All right, guys. So today we're gonna start with writing task 2. We're gonna talk about what is important to know in writing task 2 in order to get the score of your dreams. So, if we talk a little bit about myself, my name is Saiki Zirali. You might know me as the youngest IELTS expert in the world with the 9.0 score. I have 10 years of teaching, which is insane because I'm only 19, but I began teaching at the age of 9. I've taught over 10,000 students, and the average score of my students is 7.5 from the first try from the level of B1, which is insane. So these are a few of my students who got really nice scores in writing. For example, this is Bikasil, who started the course with like A1 level, but nonetheless, he got 7.5. This is Taibasar Sharipa, our second student who got 8.5 and who won a car. This is Gir Sultan, who also won a car. He has a beautiful 7 in writing and 9 in speaking, which is very nice. That's like a perfect score. And Fatima, who got overall BN of 8 and 7 in writing. We have Sultan, our first 8.5 alumni. He has 7.5 in writing. And Mirei, who has 8.0 in writing and overall 8.5. She has also won a car. I'm showing you this in order to show you that everything that I'm going to tell you throughout the marathon is legit and you need to use it, okay? Because it is really important information. Even if everything that I tell you seems counterintuitive, or if you've been to other courses before, or if you've studied IELTS before, right now I'm going to tell you information that nobody else is going to tell you. But this is the real thing that you really need to know if you want to master your IELTS exam. Okay, guys, so unfortunately, I cannot read your messages. I do not see the chat, so we will have a separate time for questions and answer for the Q&A session, okay? For now, you should not write your questions because I will not be able to answer them because I cannot see you. I cannot even see myself here. Most important thing is everything that we're going to talk about during the marathon is this very simple piece of paper. It is called, thank you so much. It's called the band descriptors, right? So it is a document which basically shows why students get 9, why students get 8, and why students get 7. But if you want, you can screenshot this. But if you just take a look at this document yourself and you're going to read, for example, you're going to read the prompt is appropriately addressed and explored in depth, or a clear and fully developed position is presented which directly answers the question, or ideas are fully extended and well supported. Any lapses in content or support are extremely rare. If you read this yourself, you're not going to understand a thing. Just understanding that the prompt is appropriately addressed and explored in depth does not give you any further information on how to develop your own writing. Just understanding that in coherence and cohesion, the message can be followed effortlessly gives you absolutely no idea on how to improve your own writing or what a real band 9 looks like. So today we're going to take a look at some really bad essays and some really good essays in order to show you what a band 9 and what a really bad band 6 looks like. So before we get to look at this whole band descriptors, I want you to complete a very simple exercise. I want you to match the words with their definitions. Right now, I will give you exactly 2 minutes. You can take a look at this. By the way, you can zoom in order to see it better. And I will give you 2 minutes. Please take a piece of paper and write and like connect it. For example, 1 is connected to K, 2 position is, for example, the situation where price of something is something. Please write it down like this. I will give you exactly 2 minutes to complete this exercise.
Можете, пожалуйста, одного участника принять?
Я не могу уже.
А у вас камера выключена?
Угу.
Специально выключила.
Нужно курить то, что у меня камера включена. Okay. All right, guys, we have 30 seconds are over. You have 90 seconds left. Can you please open up the Zoom for me? У вас есть Zoom? Зайдите в Zoom.
Я могу еще раз зайти.
Зайдите, пожалуйста, еще раз. All right, guys, you have 5 seconds left to complete this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now, guys, I can't see your chat. Please write in the chat. Oh, uh, give me a second. I'm done. Okay, perfect. Wow. Perfect. Now, guys, please write in the chat. I can see the chat right now. What your answers are. What is number 1? What is the prompt, guys? Prompt is, oh, okay, perfect. It's a set of directions to give you ideas. Perfect. All right. So I think that many of you have done it correctly, and I'm really proud. I'm really proud of you guys because it's quite of a tough exercise. Let's take a look at it. So prompt is, it is a set of directions to give you ideas for writing something. So basically, the prompt is this. It is this, right? So it is words that will help you write an essay. It's the topic of the essay in simple words. Position. Position is G. Right. Well, not a good job. It is an opinion. So it is basically what you think. So in other words, when we say that a clear and fully developed position, we mean a clear and fully developed opinion, right? So in other words, your opinion must be clear. What you think must be clear. This is the basics of writing, and we're going to come back to this so many times. So relevant. Relevance is B. So it's connected with what's happening or what's being discussed, so relevant ideas. Cohesion is A. It's the logical and smooth connection between different parts of a text, such as sentences and paragraphs. Coherence, on the other hand, is a situation where when the parts of something fit together in a natural or reasonable way. So cohesion is like, it's like butter, like if your text is as smooth as butter. It's like if it flows very well, if when the person reads it, if it's really easy to understand, if the sentences flow into each other, and if they're well connected, your cohesion is really good. Coherence, on the other hand, is about the logic of your essay. Is your essay logical? Is it or is it not? Then we have paragraphing. Paragraphing is basically writing in different paragraphs. Flexibility. Flexibility is the ability to use a wide range of words and expressions effectively in different contexts and for various purposes. So if your lexical resource is flexible, if you have a very flexible lexical resource, it means that to describe one thing, you can use many, many different ways. Precise. Precise is exact or accurate. For example, if you use the precise word to describe something, it means that you're using the accurate way, the exact word to describe something. Appropriately. Appropriately is a word that we're gonna use so many times. Okay, to use something appropriately means to use something in a way that is suitable or right for a particular situation or occasion. For example, if you're going to a funeral, if somebody dies, it is appropriate for you to grieve. It is appropriate for you to cry, right? It is inappropriate. It is incorrect for you to go to a funeral dressed all, like in orange from head to toe and to laugh, right? It would be inappropriate because it is not suitable or it is not right for the particular situation or occasion. I mean, like, generally, if you think of life, it is really good to laugh. It is really good to be positive. It is really nice to be dressed from, in orange from head to toe. But it's not appropriate in a funeral. I hope you understood. Fluently. Fluently is the only word that is here for speaking, but I still put it because, like writing and speaking. Fluently means easily, well, and quickly. Uncommon. Uncommon is not seen, happening, or experienced often. For example, an uncommon word is a word that you normally wouldn't use. For example, the word myopia. Myopia means like what I have. It's you cannot really see from the far. You wouldn't use myopia every single day. You wouldn't say, for example, "Good morning, mom. I have myopia," right? It's not seen, happening, or experienced very often. Idiomatic. Idiomatic is not idioms, guys. It is containing expressions that are natural and correct. So, idiomatic is not always and only about idioms. Idiom, for example, is I am over the moon, or like my mom has an eye for something, right? So that is an idiom. But idiomatic expressions are expressions that are natural and, like that native speakers use. It can be phrasal verbs. For example, we can say idiomatic expressions. How to read the word cohesion? Cohesion. You read it as cohesion. Okay. Collocation. Collocation is a word or phrase that is often used with another word or phrase in a way that sounds correct to people. For example, collocation is spend money. We usually use spend with the word money, or it is take care of our families. It is also a collocation. It is a phrase that we normally use. It might not be like C2 level. In A2, we also have a lot of collocation. Or, for example, beautiful girl is a collocation, right? We wouldn't really say handsome girl, though handsome and beautiful technically mean the same thing, physically attractive. Non-systematic. Non-systematic is basically not repeated. Systematic mistakes means repeated mistakes that you make all the time. All right, guys. Now I need to have like feedback from you. I need to get the feedback. Did you understand everything, or is there a question? Guys, this is a full lesson. It's the place where you're supposed to ask questions if you don't understand something, right? I don't need a class of obedient students who have no questions, who have nothing to say, who are always silent, but they have zero result. I want a class of students who are engaged in the process, who are interested in learning. If they have a question, they ask it, okay? I understand. Okay. Я чуть-чуть не понимаю, но интересно. Да, ребята, мы проводим этот урок на английском языке, потому что это у нас IELTS марафон. Если у вас уровень ниже... Опа. Why did it turn off? Окей. Если у вас уровень ниже, грубо говоря, А2, то понимать меня будет немного сложнее. I comprehend, but not a lot. Первое, десятое, четвертое, не понял. Okay, yes, all right. So the first one is prompt. Prompt is basically this, guys. This is called a prompt. Да, это set of directions. То, что вам дает направление. Четыре. Четвертое у нас cohesion. Cohesion это the logical, как логично и структурированно написаны ваши предложения. Если ваши предложения очень легко истекают друг из друга, если они очень хорошо связаны, если связь между ними очень хорошо налажена, то это cohesion is very good. Десятый appropriately. Appropriately means правильно для этого контекста. То есть, например, вы не пойдете на похороны, одеты полностью, не знаю, в оранжевом цвете и не будете смеяться, да? В целом в жизни смеяться это очень классно, но на похоронах смеяться это inappropriate, это, то есть это неуместно. 15 это non-systematic. Non-systematic is not repeated. Это ошибки, которые не повторяются. Okay. I don't comprehend. Guys, comprehend, you cannot use the word comprehend. You can say, I don't understand, да? Я не понимаю, да? 9. Accurate. Accurate means like, where do we have it? Age. Correct and without any mistakes. Без каких-либо ошибок, то есть правильно. Okay, now I think that we don't have any questions. Okay, perfect. We're moving on. Now, let us read the question together. Okay. In many countries, people are now living longer than ever before. Some people say an aging population creates problems for governments. Others think that there are benefits if society has more elderly people. To what extent do the advantages of having an aging population outweigh the disadvantages? Now, guys, I want to hear your opinion in the chat. What do you think, guys? Do you think it is nice having a lot of elderly people, or is it not nice? Do you think there are more problems that elderly people create, or are there more benefits if there are a lot of elderly people in the society? Imagine like if Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, or like your motherland, Uzbekistan, or Tajikistan, if they have like a lot of elderly people, is it going to be really good for the government or is it going to be really bad for the government? Um, guys, We use both perspectives and in conclusion give our opinion. Let's not... Давайте впереди поезда бежать не будем. Хорошо, ребята? Я вам задаю вопрос, и вы следуете по моей структуре, потому что я сейчас буду все объяснять по полочкам. Мы, если будем бежать впереди поезда, мы по-любому его не обгоним. Поэтому давайте лучше будем отвечать на мой вопрос более активно, alright? It splits up. For instance, Japan, there are many aged people. It is better to engage more young people. It is. Okay. Okay, so we think it's nice. But why do you think it's nice? It has an effect on amount of workable group of people, which means that there are not many people who can work, right? Basically. So it's bad. But why do you think people who say that it's good, why is it good? Let's try to brainstorm. Why do you think it's good? It's good to have more elderly people for everyone, but why? What do these elderly people do that is good for the society? Если мы откроем окно, для вас будет холодно? Когда будет холодно, можете закрыть. Why is it good? Напишите, почему хорошо, когда много пожилых людей. Norm, thank you. Окей. Alright, ребят, наверное, вы тоже думаете, да? Давайте подумайте. It's... Oh, I don't know why, but I don't know, but I love my grandparents. Okay, Anita. It is nice, but for government, the youngers who have more ambitions and with broader horizons would be beneficial. I guess younger people are more beneficial for the government because they're more energized, have more willingness to work, and to not have much responsibilities. They lead and navigate youth. Okay, yeah, they lead and navigate youth, share their experience. Elderly people, nice. Elderly people can give wisdom and advice for youngsters. Maybe it's good because they have more experience than young people. Pros, older people have better experience. It can make process and product more qualified. It might not be good for society, but it's good for family. It's good because they're wise. Okay, nice. Finally, guys, I can hear you. It's so nice getting the feedback from you, all right? So you should stay active during the whole class. All right, so right now I'm going to give you an essay and I need you to read the essay. This essay might be a band 6, a band 5, or even a band 9 essay. Right now, I will give you 2 minutes. You need to read the essay within the 2 minutes and grade the essay. What do you think? What score does this essay deserve? Let's get started. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Let's read it. Let's close it. Yep. You still have a minute left, guys. Let's start reading faster and grading the essay faster. 7, 6.5, 6.5. Do you not think that you're overgrading the essay? 6, okay. It might be 5, you never know. 6, I think it's band 5. Okay. 5, okay. I think I influenced a lot of you. 6. 5.5, 6, okay. I think your choice of band was affected severely by me. I didn't even know, but I guess 5. I think it's 6. I think it's band 5. Yeah. Or band 6.5. Okay. Am I tripping or it might be higher? You might be tripping, you never know. 7. Okay, the highest that we've given it so far, it's 7. Now, guys, or is it 6 point? Why do you think about uh giving it 5? Так хорошо написано. I didn't even know, but it is better than my version. Okay. Now, guys, I need you to write an explanation. Why do you think it is band 5, band 7? Why do you think it's band 6? What might make this essay a better? Like, what does this essay not have to get 9.0? What do you think? I really want to hear your opinion. So 2 minutes is up. Many of you have written your opinion. It's real because it uses basic words, no linking words. Okay, no linking words. All right. Because it uses basic words. What else, guys? It is too simple. Okay. It clearly compared pros and cons. I was thinking that the first and the second sentence in body A and B are kind of general and too short. I would say there is no linking words. No linking words. It's written so simply, but have very good structure. Okay. How do you know that it has a good structure? It just has four paragraphs. You cannot be sure that it has a good structure. Guys, any position is not so clear. No linking words. Okay. All right, guys. I think that you're done. All right. So I'm going to read the essay out loud, okay? And you need to listen. All right. So the population in most parts of the world is aging. People are living longer, and there are fewer younger people in many places as birth rates fall. This phenomenon has pros and cons, but this essay will contend that on balance, the advantages of having an older population outweigh the negatives. The first issue that occurs to many people when considering the aging population is the expense. If people live longer, they may have more than 20 years of retirement and they may need to be supported financially by the government or their families. If they experience age-related illness, this impacts the health system and takes the resources needed by other people in society. What is more, when older people are financially independent, it might be hard for younger people if they have to compete to get a foot in the door of the housing market or gain employment. That being said, older people have a lot to contribute in terms of wisdom, experience, and skills. Many people are active and productive for longer than their counterparts were 50 years ago and are an asset to the economy and society well into their old age. They're able to work longer, and after retirement, they contribute in many ways too, such as doing charitable work, spending money as consumers, and supporting their families. Grandparents often care for their young grandchildren, making it easier for both parents to work. While it's true that an aging population poses challenges for governments, it's clear that these are outweighed by the significant benefits that elderly people bring to society. Okay, I've read it. You've listened to it. All right, now the average score that you gave this essay, that we gave this essay together, let's say, is 6.5. It is the average because some of you gave 5, many of you gave 6, some of you gave 7. But I think that 6, no, I don't think 6.5, maybe 6.0 is the average that we gave this essay. Because as we said, this essay is too simple. This essay has no linking words. This essay uses really basic vocabulary and grammar. All right, so we all agree with this, right? Do we guys agree with this? Just write yes or no. If you agree with this, write yes. If you don't agree with this, write no. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, that's so nice. Man, all of you agree with me. Oh my God. Yep. Yeah, I agree and have no idioms. Yep. Let me write that. No idioms. All right. So we all agree. Perfect. Um, Shungus changes his opinion quite a lot. Shungus thinks that it's either 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know. All right. So let's uh but can you imagine how shocked you would be if I told you that this model has been prepared by an examiner as an example of a very good answer. So we're talking about not 8.0, baby. We're talking about 9. It's a 10.0 essay. This essay would get 10.0 out of 9.0 if it were possible. That is a perfect essay because it is like the most perfect example of how an essay can go. What? Yeah, we're shocked. We're shocked. Not surprised. Oh my God. Yep, we're all surprised. Нифига. Еще главное латиницу написали, да. Okay. Чтобы быть в теме. Написали, I was right. You were because you're the one who was writing the presentation. All right. So, let's see. Давайте посмотрим. I started believing in myself. Oh, yeah. But guys, I don't understand you. What? Yeah. I know, right? So many of you now think that, okay, if this is band 9, I'm gonna get band 9 easily, right? That is your thought right now. Because as a person who understands very little about the IELTS exam, you think that this essay is very simple. You think that this essay has no linking words, very poor vocab and grammar, and no idioms, and it's very simple. So what's the problem? Oh my God, this is band 10. Yeah, it's band 10. So why is it getting a band 9? All because of this very beautiful piece of paper that is called band descriptors. If you ever started preparing for the IELTS exam, you would see this band descriptors piece of paper quite often. And we're going to take a look at it because this essay actually is very perfect. And we're going to take a look at why it is perfect. Let's start with task response. Let's start with something that many people hear a lot about, but they never understand. Your teachers probably say, oh, your task response is probably very low, but why is it low? Let's start there. What is task response? If you were to break down this piece of paper yourself, it would be very hard for you to understand because the prompt and what is like a clear and fully developed position, what is ideas are relevant, what does this even mean? So in order to make your lives easier, I have put down task response into 3 simple questions. Um, Number 1, is the prompt appropriately addressed? Guys, memory check. What is a prompt? Write in the comments. What is a prompt? We looked at this. We covered this before. What is a prompt? What is a prompt? Who remembers? Who has a nice memory? Who has a nice memory? What is the direction of the task? Подсказка. Okay. Basically, the prompt is the question. Don't make your life difficult. This is called the prompt. This is called the prompt. This is basically just the question. The question is called the prompt, okay? Prompt means an instruction. Okay, good job. Good job, guys. Is clear position. What is position? Memory check. What is position, guys? Opinion. Good job. Good job. What does relevance mean? What does relevant mean? Write it in the comments. Guys, if you're not active in the class, you're going to gain zero knowledge from the class, okay? Because I'm not giving you theory, I'm giving you practice. Connection, appropriate to the theme. Good job. Good job. Соответствующий. Yeah, relevant means basically connected to what's happening, right? So we're going to take a look at it. Is the prompt appropriately addressed in this essay? Yes. Is there a clear position? Yes. Are the ideas relevant? Yes. These are the 3 questions that you can ask yourself when you're writing an essay in order to check yourself whether you're gonna get a good score in task response or no. So, is there a clear position? Position means opinion. A clear position means an opinion which we understand. Boom! Here is the first myth about IELTS. People think that we have to start giving our opinion and the conclusion. No. Guys, please listen to me carefully. IELTS requires you only to write 250 words. The maximum word count that you can write, even if you master the IELTS format perfectly, is 330 words. And believe me, 330 words, break it down into sentences, it's maximum 15 to 16 sentences. It's not that many sentences. And you cannot write a very long essay because of the time duration of the test, right? And because you cannot write a very long essay, the format has to be appropriate to what you're writing. In other words, you should outline your opinion, your position starting from the get-go. Right from the introduction, you need to make your position clear. Okay? The examiner has to understand what you think from the introduction. This It's not a being mysterious test, okay? The examiner is not going to give you scores that because you're mysterious. The examiner's job, the examiner is paid to read your essay. So it's not your job to make your essay interesting so they read it till the end. I know. We live in a very clickbaited world where everything is clickbait. All of my videos are clickbait. I know because I need to grab my viewers' attention. But here, your goal is not grabbing the examiner's attention. Your goal is making your position clear. In other words, it is the thoughts that you have here, you put them on paper, and when the person reads your ideas, your words on paper, the ideas that you put on paper should go into the person's head and it should be clear. Okay? That is the goal. You have no other goal. Since that is your only goal, you have to start writing the introduction very clearly. Your introduction has to tell the reader what you think. Okay? So, one thing, it should not concern you whether the examiner is interested, whether they are, even if your essay is the most boring thing in the world, the examiner is still going to read it till the end because they have to grade you, because they get money for that. Okay, so your position has to be clear in two places specifically. First is introduction. So counterintuitive to everything that you've learned, yes, we write and outline our opinion in the introduction. Number two is conclusion. We have to repeat our position again in the conclusion. It is important. Now, let's take a look at it. Why is this essay really good? Because as you can see here, they write, like, this phenomenon has pros and cons, but this essay will contend that on balance, the advantages of having an older population outweigh the negatives. Let me ask you a simple question. Let's take a look at the problem. The problem is, to what extent do the advantages of having an aging population outweigh the disadvantages? This is the question, right? So the question asks us, do you think there are more advantages or more disadvantages? And the essay says this phenomenon, this, we're talking about this, right, has pros and cons, but this essay will contend that on balance, the advantages of having an older population outweigh the negatives. Is the position clear? Do you, as the reader, understand what the person thinks? Let's write briefly in the chat. Yes, no, guys. Yes, yes. Okay. We understand. Yes, yes. Okay. What? You have to listen clearly, guys. Yes. Perfect. There's gonna be no, there's gonna be no here because it's clear. Because a person already said, I think there are more advantages than disadvantages. It is really easy. It's really simple. It's really straightforward. This is what it means to have a clear position. Now, this was the introduction. So their intro was really nice. We give it A plus. Now we look at their conclusion. This is their conclusion. We read it. While it's true that an aging population poses challenges for governments, it's clear that these are outweighed by the significant benefits that elderly people bring to society. So here they say, let me use a different. It's clear that these are outweighed. What are outweighed? The challenges. The challenges are outweighed by the significant benefits. Do we understand their opinion in the conclusion? Is their opinion clear in the conclusion? Yes or no? Conclusion should be in the end. Yes, guys, that is what conclusion is all about. It's concluding. Заключение, right? Advantages or advantageous? Advantageous is a different word. Here we go. Advantage. I think I misspelled it. So this is a different word. It is an adjective. Advantageous, it means like преимущественный. It is like something that has a lot of advantages. But like as a noun, it is advantage. But I have an American accent, so that's why I don't pronounce T's. I say advantage. Okay, great. Yes, yes, perfect, great. Now we're gonna, so everything is clear in terms of like the problem, position clear, the ideas are relevant. The ideas are relevant because if you look at the essay, they only write about the topic. They never go out the topic. They only say in the topic. That's what makes their opinion really nice. So, coherence and cohesion. It is something that a lot of people struggle with, but honestly, there's a reason to struggle. Give me a second. Guys, if you're fasting, if you're like, because it's Ramadan, if you're fasting, I'm so sorry, but I'm not fasting, so I need to drink some water in order to articulate my thoughts better. I hope that is okay with you. So, coherence and cohesion. A lot of people ask me, what is coherence? What is cohesion? What does it actually mean, right? So let's take a look at that. That's okay. Thank you so much, guys. I have the best audience. I love my audience so much. All right, so you're all so sweet. So, cohesion and coherence. Basically, in two sentences, what does this mean? It means, is cohesion used in such a way that it rarely attracts attention? Guys, everything that is used correctly does not attract attention, all right? So, if you use the words correctly, it doesn't attract attention. If you use the grammar correctly, it doesn't attract attention because it is natural. For example, if I were to speak Russian, когда я говорю на русском, когда я говорю правильно и грамотно, это обычно не привлекает ваше внимание, да, например, я говорю, я хожу в школу каждый день, и я сижу, грубо говоря, в школе с 8 утра до 12 чего-то там, да, не привлекает ваше внимание, потому что я говорю правильно. Но если я начну говорить, нет, ам, ходить, я буду в школу, it's gonna be like, it's gonna attract your attention because I'm speaking incorrectly. So if you're using cohesion correctly, it should not attract attention. But for it not to attract attention, you need to manage all of the aspects of cohesion well. Is paragraphing skillfully managed? The paragraphing is really important. I'm gonna take a look at it. So how many aspects of cohesion can you find? How many aspects of cohesion do you know? Let's start with that. Please write how many aspects of cohesion do you know in the chat, and what are the aspects of cohesion that you know? Let's write in the chat. Meaning. Meaning what? Meaning grammar. Write words correctly. Paragraph. Clear structure, speaking. Why are we talking about speaking if we're talking about writing? Арина, are we on the same page? Арина, почему мы говорим speaking, если мы сейчас проходим writing? Откуда вы взяли speaking здесь? Logical. Okay, смотрите. Everything that you're writing is incorrect. Let's start with that. I'm sorry, but I'm really straightforward. I cannot connecting ideas clearly. Nope. Farangiz, are you just using ChatGPT to help you? Because I work with so many people that I sense and smell ChatGPT from like miles and miles away. Linking words maybe. Good job. Good job linking words. All aspects of cohesion. There are 8 aspects of cohesion: preposition, conjunction, adverbial, referencing, substitution, ellipsis, punctuation, and discourse markers. These are the aspects of cohesion that you can see here. So we're going to take a look at everything right now, because probably you're thinking, what the hell is conjunction? What the hell is adverbial? We're going to take a look at it together, so I'm going to break it down. Here, you're going to need a piece of paper urgently. You have to take a piece of paper and you have to start writing. So, preposition. Preposition is something that we all know. For example, I'm holding a cup in my hand. Or, for example, the cup is on the table, right? I'm in a car. I'm in Spain. Something like this. I'm in the park. Something like this. I'm at school. You know, like these are the prepositions that we know. But also prepositions can be like by, for, other than what I've mentioned before. So prepositions are words that basically connect ideas together and kind of put more sense into what you're saying. Conjunction. Conjunction is words like but, and these are words that connect different parts of sentences together. For example, this phenomenon has pros and cons, but this essay will contend that on balance. So the word but is connecting this part of the sentence and this part of the sentence together. The same with and. For example, I can say, I like money. Oh, nope, let's see. I like chocolate. But I really do like money as well. So I like chocolate, but I don't eat it. So I can say, I like chocolate, full stop, and I don't eat it, full stop. So we're gonna have here two sentences, two simple sentences. But here, I can add the word but, and I can create one sentence. I like chocolate, but I don't eat it. You see, this is how conjunctions work. Or for example, I can say, I like apples, I like bananas. Two sentences. Or I can use the word and I can say, I like apples and bananas. Something like this. So, adverbial. Adverbial is, for example, if conjunctions are used to link words together, adverbials are used to link sentences together. For example, the first issue, no, let's try it here. If they experience age-related illness, this impacts the health system and takes up resources needed by other people in society. What's more? What's more is a really good adverbial because here it shows us that, like we have one more idea. Another example of an adverbial is on top of that. And the most important thing that makes it an adverbial is the word that, because on top of that means that we are listing something and like we have listed a certain a number of certain wait a number of certain advantages, yes, and then we want to add one more to the list, right? To the list that we have created. So that is an adverbial. Adverbials are there to connect different sentences together in a way that they kind of flow together. Because most of your essays, they have sentence, sentence, no connection. But this essay has sentence, sentence, and there's a connection. And that is why the cohesion is really nice. Referencing. Referencing is something that we use every single day. It's words like they, the, this, that, um, those, and etc. Basically, for example, if I say, I have a pen, it is white, you know what pen I'm talking about. You know what is white, right? My hair is not white. The cup is not white. What is white? The pen is white. So the same thing here. Um, for example, men people are active and productive for longer than their counterparts 50 years ago, or like older people have a lot to contribute in terms of wisdom, experience, and skill. Many people are active and productive longer than their counterparts, so people's counterparts. They're able to work for longer. Who are able to work for longer? People who are active and longer than their counterparts, well into their old age, or in other words, older people, right? We're referencing back to older people here. The problem with referencing is not that you don't use it. The problem with referencing is that you're using it incorrectly. You're using it, like in a way that it's really difficult to understand what you're referring back to. For example, you mostly how students write it. Students write it like this. I have a table, a cup, and a phone. That item is black. What is black? Is the table black? Is the cup black? Or is the phone black? Nobody understands because you use the referencing incorrectly. Whenever you use referencing, please make sure that the person actually understands to what you're referring back to. Is it clear? Guys, am I speaking clearly? Do you understand? If you don't understand something, please write the question. Because I do not want to explain everything. And by the end of the class, I don't want to be asked a question that I've already explained. Do you have a question? Somebody said I do. Please. What question do you have? What do you understand? Yes, it's clear. Perfect. If you have a question, write the question. I do. You said I do, like, like, do you want to marry me? I do. Yes, I do. I don't know. The word yes, I do, like, associates like that. I mean, I understand. Okay, Alibek, good job. Are adverbials like linking words? Adverbials are not, they are linking words, but we cannot just say linking words. The linking words can be conjunctions like but and, they can be adverbials. They can be referencing. All of these are linking words. The word linking word is связывающие слова. Связывающие слова, они связывают смыслы вместе. Они делают ваши предложения связанными, right? So that's linking word. We have 8 different types of linking words. We're talking about different types of linking words. I don't understand preposition. Preposition is a grammar thing. You can look it up. In simple words, it's like in, on, at, and etc. Referencing that we must use words that start with th, not th only. The word it can also be referencing, or we use linking words. We should use these words in essays. You shouldn't use exactly these words. These are just examples um of good cohesion, guys. You shouldn't use 100% words like this. You should use similar logic. What I'm explaining to you right now is I'm explaining to you the logic. Я вам не даю шаблон. Люди, которые говорят вам, что вот этот шаблон поможет вам набрать такой классный балл, это, ребята, фигня. Это пустые слова и пустые обещания, которые ни к чему не приведут вас. Можно человеку только дать понять шаблон, по которому он может написать, не шаблон, извиняюсь, логику эссе, по которому они могут руководствоваться, когда пишут эссе, тем самым набрать высокий балл. А вот писать шаблонами, писать определенными словами, it's BS. I've written everything down. Perfect. Now, substitution. We have 4 to go. Guys, nerves. We need a bit of nerves here. Need a bit of patience here. So, substitution. Substitution is changing the word, but not changing the meaning of a noun. So, while it's true that an aging population, they've changed it to elderly people. Basically, you can say that it's synonyms. But these are synonyms that are direct synonyms. They're indirect synonyms. For example, look, for the word big, a direct synonym is, for example, the word humongous. Something, right? But for the word, let's say, elephant, mammal is an indirect synonym because an elephant is a mammal. Technically, you can call an elephant a mammal, but not all mammals are elephants. So you need to make sure that the synonym is direct, that it actually means 100% the same thing as here. All right? So because an aging population, elderly people, 100% the same. Ellipsis. Ellipsis is something that we use in our every single day speech. Ellipsis is putting down certain words that are not necessary, that, like, they're not needed to be used, so you don't really use them. For example, the advantages of having an older population outweigh the negatives. The advantages of having an older population outweigh the negatives of what? The negatives of smoking? No. The negatives of having a lot of children? No. The negatives of being self-employed? No. The negatives of what? The negatives of having an older population. You don't need to write it again because it's already clear, right? Because we're not gonna, like, the context doesn't mean the negatives of something that's not clear. We already understand the negatives of what. The same way, for example, in spoken English, we say, I have a pen, table, and chair. But grammatically, it should be, I have a pen, a table, and a chair. But we use ellipsis and we put down the article a before every single, like every single noun that we have listed. because by default we already understand, like the context here. We already understand that we don't need a. So the same way here мы опускаем ненужные слова. What does it mean outweigh? Outweigh means перевешивать. So the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Преимущества перевешивают недостатки. Yep. So, ellipsis is опускание ненужных частей предложений, когда уже по контексту понятно, что мы имеем в виду. Punctuation. Punctuation is my favorite ever theme because people like to call them just signs that we don't need. But punctuation is a part of language. And because it's a part of language, language is used to communicate. And that's why if you use punctuation correctly, you can communicate much better and much more effectively. For example, look, I'll give you a sentence. The only difference here is in the punctuation, if you look at it. But if your mom texted you, hey, let's eat kids, like the first version, you'd be pretty scared. You'd be like, Mom, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? Right? But if your mom were to text you, let's eat kids, you'd probably be happy. So this is how important punctuation really is, right? Because punctuation is really important. So for example, here we have semicolon. Semicolon is this. Semicolon is this. This is a colon. So a semicolon is used to say in other words. In other words, for example, here, the population most parts of the world is aging. They use a semicolon. So they could have written in other words, but they just use semicolon in order to shorten, in order to use fewer words. People are living longer and there are fewer younger people in many places as birth rates fall. So the population is aging, and it means that people are living longer. So this is like a definition of the word the world is aging, you know? So this is why punctuation is important. Through punctuation, you can how can I say this? You can convey certain meanings even without using words, which is really nice because if there's a variant where you don't have to use words, just try not to. Thank you so much. I don't need your phone right now, Miss Cecilia. Miss Cecilia, I don't need your phone. You can take it. Thank you. Discourse markers. Discourse markers are words like the first issue that occurs to many people. It's like these kind of phrases with which you usually start paragraphs with discourse markers, and these discourse markers help the person understand what the whole thing is about. For example, the first issue that occurs, and that is a discourse marker because here you already know that you're going to talk about the first issue, right? All right, guys. So here is cohesion used in such a way that it rarely attracts attention. Are all aspects of cohesion managed well? Yes, the essay did a perfectly good job in managing all aspects of cohesion. Okay. Now we're going to talk about paragraphing. Is paragraphing skillfully managed? The paragraphing skillfully managed means that do all of the paragraphs have a purpose? Do all of them have like a reason to be there? And are all of the paragraphs connected? That is what it means to have good paragraphing. So for example, here we have the first issue that occurs to many people when considering the aging population is the expense. So this is a really nice topic sentence. A topic sentence is the first sentence that you start your paragraph with, and you start the paragraph with the topic sentence in order to briefly talk about what is like the paragraph about, right? For example, here by reading the topic sentence alone, we understand that here we're gonna talk about issues that occur when people have aging population. But sometimes we have topic sentences like umbrella topic sentences. These are like sentences that sound something like there are several issues that occur when people that occur to many people when considering the aging population. An umbrella topic sentence is a topic sentence that talks about it generally. This one is more detailed because here we talk about expense. And um, another important word that we use here is first. We use the word first in order to identify um, like in order to give the person an idea that we're not only going to talk about expense, we're also going to talk about other problems, right? So this is really nice because if you didn't use the word first, the person would think that we're only going to talk about expense. And since you're not only going to talk about expense, it might cause several problems. All right, so paragraphing is skillfully managed. Perfect. So here, that's why we have 9.0. Actually, if you break down every single essay into bite-sized pieces, into like really, really small pieces, you can see like every single band's 9 looks really simple on the outside, but it looks really simple because it's really simple to read. And everything that is simple to read is simple to comprehend. If it's simple to comprehend, in other words, understand. If it's simple to understand, it means that it is like a really good essay. Now, let's talk about something that most of you have criticized a lot. You've criticized its lexical resource, the fact that it didn't really have a good lexical resource. Here we have 3 questions. Are there any uncommon words skillfully used? Are there any idiomatic items? And what about collocations? Did you answer all of the 3 questions? Yes. Are any uncommon words skillfully used? Yes, because they're uncommon words that contribute, counterparts, and charitable work. You normally wouldn't use these words, but they're not only used, they're also used skillfully. To have a word skillfully used means to have the word used correctly, which is really nice because they have a lot to contribute or longer than their counterparts or as by doing charitable work and they use it correctly, which means that that's a really good thing. Let me tell you one thing. If you watch videos on YouTube, top, for example, 10 words to get 9.0, or top 100 words to get 9.0 in writing, that is total nonsense because you cannot have, like words that can guarantee you a certain score. It is totally wrong. Let me repeat that in Russian. Ребят, если вы в интернете, в Ютубе находите фразы, которые говорят, эти 50 слов полностью вам будут гарантировать 9.0, это полная фигня. Это пустые слова и пустые обещания, потому что никакие слова, какими они классными, длинными, красиво звучащими не были, они не могут гарантировать вам хороший балл, потому что даже когда мы говорим об использовании uncommon, то есть C2 слов, C2, либо же B2, либо же C1 слов, мы должны их использовать правильно. А без правильного использования эти слова только будут снижать ваш балл. IELTS это не экзамен на запоминание, это не экзамен на память. IELTS не проверяет, сколько классных слов вы знаете. Он не проверяет вашу память. То, что он проверяет, это коммуникация. И в частности, в райтинге он проверяет, как хорошо вы коммуницируете на английском языке в письменной форме. То есть, чтобы коммуницировать правильно, вы должны, чтобы коммуницировать эффективно, вы должны коммуницировать с людьми правильно, да, использовать правильные слова, чтобы они вас правильно понимали. Поэтому все слова, которые здесь используются, они даже если не самые классные, не самые длинные, не самые сложные, они используются правильно. Именно поэтому это эссе и набрало 9.0 по lexical resource. Okay, are there any idiomatic items? Да? Let's talk about idiomatic items. Again, idiomatic items, it is not only idioms. Это не только про идиомы. It is also about phrasal verbs. It is about certain natural words that we can use together, natural phrases. For example, take up resources. Here it is a phrasal verb. To get a foot in the door of. It is a really nice phrase. We can call it idiom, but it is a formal idiom. We can use it. So, you cannot really use idioms in writing. Вы идиомы использовать в райтинге такие неформально не можете. Это тоже факт, но idiomatic items you should use all the time. Phrasal verbs and natural phrases together. Collocation. Collocation, these are phrases or words that are usually used together that sound natural. For example, doing charitable work, spending money, supporting their families, or caring for their young, making it easier for both parents to work. Make something easier, support someone, spend money, care for their young, doing charitable work. All of these are collocations, guys. All of these are phrases that you can use naturally, and these collocations are also used correctly, which is nice. So, I don't think that we have. All right, guys, I have turned off the chat. I don't see the chat anymore, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna go, right? If you have questions, I'll answer them at the end. Let's talk about grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range and accuracy. We have also 4 questions. Is punctuation appropriately used? Punctuation, пунктуация такая вещь, прям максимально, скажем так, неприятная, потому что пунктуация, она влияет и на coherence and cohesion, и на грамматику. То есть очень важно использовать пунктуацию правильно. В отличие от русского языка, запятые ставятся не всегда и ставятся не так часто. Например, если в русском языке запятые мы можем встретить по 2-3 запятые в одном сложно поставленном, сложно подчиненном предложении, и это нормально, в английском языке это будет, скорее всего, ненормально. Или они должны использоваться прям очень правильно. Are the majority of the sentences error-free? Are there any systematic errors? Is there a wide range of structures used? Guys, examiners look at how many sentences in your essay are error-free. Okay, they look at how many sentences do not have an error, and that's how they count up the grammar score for you. If you have any systematic means repeated, да, повторяющийся. Если у вас есть повторяющиеся ошибки, то это score down. Но если же у вас есть одна ошибка в артикле, но вы ее не повторяете, тогда она не systematic error. Wide range of structures used, да, очень широкий выбор структур. Punctuation used appropriately. Yes, we use a lot of punctuation here, and it's really nice. And we use it correctly, which is also really nice. Majority of sentences error-free. All of the sentences, 100%, are error-free. So that's really nice. Is there a wide range of structures used? Yes, because here we talk about conditionals. We use modal verbs. We use when. We use, again, when. And we use a lot of different structures. And this is what the other examiner wrote. That this is basically what this means, that it is a really nice and it is a really good answer. That is what the examiner wrote. If you want, you can screenshot this and read this a little bit later. Now, guys, this is, wow. Кто это? Okay. Wait. Okay, guys, do you see my screen or do you not see my screen? Do you see my screen? Nope, you don't see my screen. Perfect, guys. Nope. Yeah, you're not supposed to see my screen. I didn't manage to screenshot. Well, we'll send you the screenshot. We don't see it. Okay, guys, you're not supposed to see my screen. Okay, what you're supposed to see, you're supposed to see me. And now, because for the next 30 minutes, I want to chat with you, and I need to see if you have any questions. I want to answer your questions. It may be questions about motivation, it may be questions about English, maybe questions about IELTS. Отвечу на ваши вопросы не только про IELTS, но и про мотивацию, про изучение английского языка, про подготовку к IELTS, знаете, про вот все вопросы, которые у вас есть, вы можете мне их сейчас задать, и я на ваши вопросы сейчас готова ответить. Of course, as expected. How hard it is to get 9.0 overall? Многие ребята говорят, что разница между 8.5 и 9.0 разница всего лишь в 0,5 баллов. Но на самом деле это не совсем так, потому что, чтобы набрать 8,5, Тебе достаточно иметь и уровня B2. С правильной подготовкой ты, как и мои студенты, например, как Мирей Нугайбаева, которая набрала 8,5 с первого раза, имея уровень B2 изначально, вы можете набрать 8,5, потому что 8,5 можно набрать при 8 разных вариациях баллов, например, 9, 9, 7, 7,5, 7,5 и так далее. То есть есть очень многие разные вариации баллов, которые могут вместе скомпоноваться и дать вам общий балл в 9,0. Ой, 8,5. Но чтобы набрать 9,0, у вас возможны вариации баллов только два. Это либо, как у меня, 9, 9. То есть у вас по 3 секциям должно быть идеально. То есть вы должны получить девятку по всем 3 секциям и 8 по одной, либо же 9, 9, 8, 5, 8, 5. Получается, у вас в конечном итоге по-любому С2 по всем скиллам. Поэтому разница, если между 6 и 6,5, 0,5 баллов, между 6, 5 и 7 это 0,5 баллов, но разница между 8 и 9,0 это целых 9 баллов, потому что это полное и совершенное, абсолютное понимание экзамена. Это, грубо говоря, заходить на экзамен полностью понимая, что от тебя ожидают и что от тебя хотят экзаменаторы. I hope I could answer your question. Сколько дают минут, чтобы написать IELTS? Написать IELTS выражение не совсем корректное. Вы не пишете IELTS, вы пишете IELTS состоит из 4 секций: writing, reading, listening и speaking. Speaking это у вас интервью, которое проходит либо в очном формате, то есть это face-to-face, либо же он проходит у вас via Zoom, да, с помощью Zoom. Он проходит с 11 до 14 минут касательно продолжительности. На writing и reading вам дают ровно час, на listening максимум 30 минут, поэтому you can take a look at it. IELTS это не тест на память, это тест на коммуникацию. What can you recommend to improve vocabulary? In order to improve vocabulary, guys, read. Please. It is the best way to improve any vocab in any language is to read. Чтобы говорить на любом языке грамотно, даже если... Потому что я замечаю, что наша молодежь не говорит даже на своем родном языке грамотно. Не то, что на английском, не то, что на своем третьем, втором языке, да? Поэтому, чтобы говорить банально на языке грамотно, а грамотность, она состоит из богатого лексического ресурса. Это говорить без запинок, говорить без и так далее. То есть, чтобы говорить грамотно и улучшать свой лексический ресурс, если при этом у вас уже имеются базовое понимание и базовый уровень английского языка, это читать материал, который на чуточку сложнее, чем тот материал, который вы понимаете. Не на 100%, не так, чтобы вы были А1 и вы читали материалы С2 и потом удивляетесь, почему нет прогресса, да? Но чуточку сложнее, на половину уровня, на 1 уровень сложнее, чтобы вы адаптировались к этой среде. Читайте, ребята, читайте вслух. Читая вслух, вы используете Господи. God. So you're using visual understanding. То есть вы видите это слово, во-первых, да? Затем вы говорите это слово, вы его произносите. Когда вы его произносите, вы его слышите. И вот уже 3 каналами вам намного легче запомнить это слово. Плюс надо понимать, как работает наш мозг. Ребята, наш мозг, наши нейроны могут хранить от 5 до 7 разных воспоминаний. Именно поэтому наш мозг лучше всего учится с ассоциациями на ассоциациях, на ассоциативном формате. Например, если вашу сестру зовут Мария, если вы встретите кого-то на парти, кого зовут Мария, и если она очень сильно похожа на вашу сестру, то на ассоциациях вы можете легче запомнить имя той подруги на пати, да, которая зовут Мария. То же самое, ребята, со словами. Надо учить слова уже на контексте слов, которые вы уже знаете. Чтобы это делать, нужно читать слова, нужно читать книги на уровень выше вашего уровня. Что еще? Господи. Alright, so how can I manage my time if I'm a student? How can I manage my time if I'm a student? Let's see. You don't get to manage your time. Time is a very elastic being. То есть время, оно очень такое эластичное вещь, да, она тянется ровно на то, на что вы выделяете себе время. Ребята, для интереса возьмите ваш телефон и выкиньте его нафиг. Пожалуйста, на 1 неделю. Вы удивитесь, когда узнаете, сколько у вас свободного времени, которое ранее уходило на скроллинг телефона, на скроллинг соцсетей, на проверку каких-то непонятных новостей и так далее. На сталкинг. Если вы посмотрите, сколько вы времени тратите на этом телефоне, вы поймете, сколько времени вы можете на самом деле быть продуктивными. Следующее. Если у вас не хватает времени, чтобы учиться, пожалуйста, просыпайтесь на час раньше. От того, что человек спал на 1 час меньше, он никогда не умирал, поверьте мне. Поэтому, ребят, такие отмазки вроде «у меня времени, чтобы учиться» нет, это ерунда. Давайте дам вам такой простой пример. Я готовилась к IELTS. Почему я так своим IELTS-сертификатом горжусь? Потому что это не просто про сертификат, это не просто про балл, это про дисциплину и про характер. Потому что если вы сейчас учитесь, да, в школе, наверное, вы меня поймете, что учиться в школе, даже если ты учишься на тройке, это не самое легкое дело. Поэтому ребята, я когда готовилась к IELTS, я готовилась к IELTS в среднем по 10 часов в день, да. При этом я имела бизнес, я имела свое дело, имела сотрудников, имела студентов, огромное количество. Я брала за них ответственность, представляете, да? То есть ты не только работаешь сама, ты не только отвечаешь за свой результат, ты отвечаешь за результат людей, с которыми ты мало знакома, то есть за своих студентов и за своих сотрудников. Плюс к этому я еще училась в школе. Я сдавала, как и все вы, ссоры Сочи. Я писала вот эти вот какие-то непонятные экзамены. Я ходила в школу. Но при этом я находила время учиться. По 10 часов в день. Поэтому, ребята, время такая вещь эластичная. Вы сколько себе времени на что-то дадите, столько времени оно и займет. Закон Мёрфи. What books we could use for preparation? Don't use books. Скоро у нас выйдет наше собственное приложение в общий доступ. Вы можете его скачать совершенно бесплатно и практиковаться по нему. Я думаю, что нежели чем книги, лучше использовать такие приложения. Скоро оно выйдет, ребята. Мы будем его анонсировать в нашем инстаграм-канале. Is it possible to get, for example, every task on writing 8.9 task response? It is possible for you to get 8.0 in lexical resource, in grammatical range and accuracy, in coherence and cohesion, but task response for 6, yeah, it is possible to get that. But you cannot get 6.5, потому что там же грейтинг, ребят, там нет 0,5 баллов. Там 0,5 баллов составляется, например, по райтингу получаете 6,5, по спикингу получаете 6,5 не потому, что у вас там 0,5 баллов task response, да, не потому что 6,5 task response, потому что у вас 8,8, 7, да, получаете 7,5 overall. Получается, получить 6,5 по task response невозможно. Получается либо 6, либо 7. That's it. Но, в принципе, да, теоретически это возможно. Слух у меня страшно нажатый. Достали такие нравится даже слухтан жаба болса, енді құлақты жуу керек. Білмеймін, мен сөйтіп мен сөйтіп ойлап ютубқа әрсер мен өзім аяқ тапсырғанда кәдімгідей құлағымды тазалап шынымен де ол көмектеседі. Құлағымызды тазалап барамыз. Компотпен мен де баяғыда орыс мектебінде отырып оқып бітірген соң менің мұғалімім айтатын: вы что, уши компотом моете дейтін, да? Уши компотом мыть не надо. Бананы вытащить надо из ушей и надо практиковать. На самом деле, бұл жақта сіздерде проблема слухта емес, бұл жақта проблема сіздерде концентрацияда. Сіздер тыңдайсыздар да бір нәрсені мүлдем түсінбейсіздер, потому что концентрация жоқ сіздерде. Концентрироваться деп үйреніңіздер. Концентрироваться үшін күшті упражнение. Свечканы аламыз. Свечка бізде примерно 1 сағаттай ма жанады. 1 сағат бойы сол свечкаға қараймыз. Тек қана свечкаға қараймыз, ештеңе істемейміз. Солай концентрацияны өте күшті можно вернуть. Мен сөйтіп жасап, мен 10 сағаттап тұрмай сабақ оқи беретінмін сол арқылы. Сосын вам нужно просто избавиться от этой дофаминовой зависимости. У вас дофаминовая зависимость. Сіздер мынау телефоннан зависимысыздар. Осы телефон қарамасаңыздар, сіздер тұра алмайсыздар кроваттан, жүре алмайсыздар, сіздер вообще өмір сүре алмайсыздар без этого телефона, да? Ал телефоннан дофаминовая зависимость алып тастау үшін просто ештеңе жасамау керек. Просто қарап, стенаға қарап отыру керек болды. You have to get used to being bored. so much that studying is gonna feel like thrill of emotions, you know? Что делать, если в спикинг забываешь постоянно многие слова? Если вы замечаете за собой, что вы забываете слова в спикинге, то нужно просто практиковаться, чтобы не забывать эти слова, ребята. Как оценивается IELTS? Именно как оцениваются 4 секции. Ребят, если вы спрашиваете это у меня, после того, как мы уже провели один урок насчет райтинга, то я не знаю, как вы меня слушали. Райтинг оценивается именно так, как я вам только что показывала, а listening и reading оцениваются по своим каким-то критериям. О спикинге тоже поговорим чуть позже. Which is the best website for the listening? The best website for the listening? I don't really know, because when I was studying, I didn't use websites. Это правда, что IELTS прячет правильный ответ в текстах и можешь поменять слова с синонимом. Да, ребята. IELTS вам ответы вот так вот на блюдечке не даст? Это же логично, то есть это международный экзамен, который сделан так, чтобы вы его зафейлили, поэтому там, конечно, будут даваться ответы в таких синонимах сложных. I cannot speak English and I need to receive. Please recommend anything. I can recommend you my course. Honestly, that's the only thing. Because if I were to recommend you, like, do this, do that, I cannot guarantee that you're gonna do it. One, I cannot guarantee that even if you do it, I cannot guarantee that you do it correctly. Two, and I cannot guarantee that what you're doing is in the right course. Three, so that's it. What should I do if I get stuck on 6.5? Can you give me some advice? You need to get really good feedback. If you're getting stuck on 6.5, there's a reason why you get stuck. There are there's an algorithm of certain actions that you are undertaking. If you're getting the score over and over again, you need to get feedback. Can you recommend us any book in level B1? Yes, I can send you the book. The book's name is Secret Garden. Let me write it down. I will send you a book. It's just, you know, like a bonus for me. I like the book. I like the book Secret Garden, and I think you're gonna like it too. So wait a second. Let me write it down. Запишите, пожалуйста, отправить книгу Secret Garden. Не забыть надо сейчас. Как запоминать 5-10 слов, запоминать на постоянке, стрелять на автомате. Ну, чтобы запоминать слова, использовать их в ежедневном обиходе, вы должны их просто брать и использовать их в ежедневном обиходе, потому что у нас есть активная память и пассивная память. Вроде бы вы эти слова знаете, когда вы видите это слово, когда вы его встречаете где-то в тексте, в аудио, вы его знаете, вы знаете, что это слово означает, но когда вам нужно его использовать в разговорном обиходе, вы его забываете, потому что вы его, в принципе, не используете. Именно поэтому нужно перевести его в более активное использование, так можно его быстрее и запоминать. Спасибо за мотивацию и за лучшие советы. Ой, ребята, как же я рада, что вы you actually look at оцениваете, что я делаю, да? How do you stay consistent if you get burnt out? Burning out is nonsense. I'm trying to find a I was gonna say a word, but then I'm gonna get censored probably for that. So it is nonsense. Ребята, выгорать. Вы что, свечи? Чтобы выгорать. Вы же люди. Как вы можете выгорать, ребята? Выгорание — это вещь, которую создали в 21 веке. Представляете, люди без выгорания до этого жили. Люди без выгорания до этого работали на шахтах, работали на сменах, где пахали по 14 часов. И тогда слова «выгорание» не было. Это слово придумали, и его сейчас так удобно использовать. Любое что-то не получается, да у меня выгорание. Нет у вас никакого выгорания, потому что вы люди, вы же не свечи. Ребята, давайте вы как-то идентифицировать себя, во-первых, правильно. Следующее, нужно понимать то, что да, случается в жизни много. Случается в жизни то, что вы болеете, это нормально, это человеческий фактор. То, что у вас завал на работе, на учебе, 5-10. Поэтому if you want to stay consistent, чтобы оставаться последовательным в своих привычках, делите свои привычки на 3 типа. Например, я снимаю контент каждый день. Для вас, наверное, вы это замечаете, да, и ставите лайки. Я очень надеюсь, ребята, что вы ставите лайки на наш контент, потому что тут сидит моя маркетинг-команда, она все слышит. Когда я вот училась тоже, когда я готовилась к IELTS, я тоже осталась consistent, не потому что было легко, потому что я знаю себя и знаю свою жизнь. Я делю все свои шаги на 3 категории. Bare minimum, да, это базовые, то, что происходит. Например, я болею, мне нет энергии, Бывают дни, когда просто нет энергии даже встать с кровати. Это нормально. Я тоже человек. I'm not a robot. Следующее. Бывают дни, когда завал на работе, на учебе, да. Бывают дни, когда у меня перелеты, я не могу учиться. И для этих дней я составляю отдельный план. Например, когда я готовила сказ, я говорила то, что когда нет энергии, когда я болею, когда я в перелет, когда завал на работе, я делаю только 4 listening mock теста. И все. Я их не анализирую, я не делаю рейтинги, не делаю только listening mock тесты. Когда нормальные дни, это вторая категория, когда все в принципе нормально по рутине, все, что я назвал normal days, да, я пишу себе план, где закладываю 80% работы. Это reading, listening, writing, да, или speaking, что-то такое. И когда прям супер дни, когда энергии много, когда все класс, когда все идет по тому, как я думаю, да, и я делю свои шаги на вот эти вот три категории, и даже в самые худшие дни я остаюсь consistent. Ваша проблема в том, что вы пишете ваши планы, учитывая только, что в вашей жизни будет сладкая вата и малина, но жизнь малины не бывает. Жизнь, life happens, life gets in the way, and that's normal. Поэтому должен адаптировать и рационально писать свои шаги, что даже в самые худшие дни вы остаетесь верны к своей цели, и вы двигаетесь по направлению к ней. Как жить без телефона? Жить без телефона легко. Я, на самом деле, знаете, у меня до 7 класса телефона не было. Но я общалась с родителями, у меня был кнопочный телефон. И я, знаете, писала даже смски своим родителям через кнопочный телефон. Я вот реально, у меня была жизнь очень классная. Как только появился телефон, я поняла, что, ну, блин, как я жила без этого, да? Постарайтесь сделать social media detox, phone detox. Ребята, если бы ваша жизнь зависела бы от вашего телефона, либо же если вам кто-то платил деньги за то, что вы на этом телефоне сидите хоть по 10 часов, но никто вам деньги не платит за то, что вы сидите на телефоне, за то, что вы скроллите соцсети, тогда зачем вы это делаете? It's really interesting. If you have a vocabulary, but you can't apply it in your speech, what should I do? You should try to apply the vocabulary in writing. Write down a lot of words. Пишите очень много слов. Пишите очень много предложений с этим новым словом, и в конце концов оно по-любому будет у вас употребляться. Либо же, если это слово, ну, господи, ребята, если вы учите какое-то медицинское слово, вы же его не можете применять в каждодневной жизни, да, например, миопия, близорукость, я же не могу каждый день говорить «Доброе утро, мама, у меня близорукость каждое утро», и это слово применять в ежедневном обиходе я тоже не могу. Это нормально, поэтому вы должны создать себе среду, в которой вы используете это новое слово. Слово относится к какой категории? К медицине, к образованию, к, I don't know, whatever, right? К категории относите и сами с собой начинаете диалог на эту тему. That's it. И используйте это слово. I'm not confident about my writing. I'm struggling with grammar. But your writing is really good. I don't see the reason why you should be insecure. You're doing a really good job. My goal, NYU, Harvard Medical School, seeing her PhD. Now I'm in the 9th grade. That's really nice. But for that, you need English. You cannot go anywhere without English. What books can you recommend? I can recommend for English learners. We're gonna give you an access to our platform and website. You can take a look at it, and there are many books there that you can read, and they're really, really nice. Неге біз банально қате жібереміз, жауапты біліп тұрсақ та. Өйткені біз сөйлеп үйренбегенбіз, және бұл қалыпты жағдай. Сіздер егер сөйлемесеңіздер, сіздер ол грамматиканы қолданбасаңыздар, сіздер ол грамматиканы қолданбайсыздар, достар. И дұрыс қолданбайсыздар. Даже сіздер оны біліп тұрсаңыздар да, это у вас где-то в пассивной memory, like, it's not in your active memory. Вы должны сол біліп тұрған нәрсеңізді в активное использование перевести, сол кезде сіздер ошибка жасамайсыздар. В конце концов, ошибка жасау — это неплохо, это наоборот классно. Просто вы должны делать новые ошибки, чтобы у вас были новые уроки, да? Дело не в ошибках, просто делайте новые ошибки, учитесь чему-то новому, а старые ошибки делать не надо. Sorry, could you say what is being marked after punctuation? I didn't really understand what you mean. Can you please rephrase your question? I was wondering, when will video materials be available? What video materials, guys? If you're talking about the recording of this meeting, it will be available after this meeting. We'll send it to you. But no other video materials. I don't know who said that access will be provided, because there's not going to be. There will be no other video materials. Okay. Do you have any lessons about writing essays for university? No, because I don't really have any experience on writing essays for universities yet. I don't, if I do something, I am gonna do it perfectly because I'm a perfectionist and I love my audience. You see, guys, for this marathon, согласитесь, ребята, этот марафон, который стоит всего лишь 5000 тенге, вы получили столько знаний, это только первый день, да? Мы разобрали полностью writing task 2, что вы понимаете, за что конкретно отвечает writing task 2, что конкретно поможет вам набрать ваш желаемый балл. Поэтому, если я что-то делаю, я это делаю качественно. Если я это не могу предоставить качество, то я это не делаю. Все, мы закончили уже. Солсрака. You're the person who stands out swearing offsprings. I really love the way you're honest with us. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you so much. Сейчас. Maybe you should open one course for university applications. That's a really nice idea, but I'm gonna do that once I get into the university of my dreams myself. But before that, we're not gonna do that. All right, guys. Can you give me my phone? Thank you so much. My team also is learning English. I have a lot of free time, but I cannot practice every time due to I'm unaware about. Да, ребята, очень много времени, но я не знаю, как практиковаться, потому что, ребята, в интернете слишком много информации, изобилие информации, но эта информация, ее так много, что вы уже не знаете, что делать. То есть проблема не в том, что информации нет, ее много, но она не структурирована, она не систематизирована, поэтому вы не знаете, что делать с первым, что делать с вторым, что делать с третьим и так далее. В этом у вас из-за этого у вас уходит мотивация, грубо говоря, да, потому что, например, если вы смотрите на гору, и если вы не знаете, просто вы видите очень много ступенек, но вы не знаете, куда каждая ступенька ведет, то, скорее всего, вы до результата не дойдете. Поэтому вам нужна четкая система, четкий план, что конкретно делать, что делать потом, после этого и так далее. Да, окей, great. Okay, guys. The best way to develop reading section. We're not gonna talk. I'm gonna give you really quick insight that is analyzing your weak spots and working with your weak spots till they become your strong sides. That's it. I think we're gonna do a different marathon for reading, but not today. I need you to think about writing and speaking and to develop your speaking and writing. All right, guys, did you like today's class? Because we're gonna wrap it up. Yes, of course, of course. Guys, you were so sweet. I enjoyed having a class with you because I have an experience of teaching of over 10 years, and working with such an audience that was so active was a pleasure for me. If there are people who are willing to turn on their camera, and I'm gonna mute them, of course, and give me like a very short review of how the class went, that would be amazing. If you can just write, it's just a short review, like a 15-second review of how the class went. Did you like the class, or what did you learn in the class? Something like this. You can turn on your camera, and I'll unmute you, and then you can give us your review. All right, guys. So I don't really think that there is a person who wants to do that. It's all right. You can write all of your reviews in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat. All right. So it's okay, guys. It's all right. It was really nice having you. I hope you have no questions. Your curator will text you right now. Please give us the feedback because we really work for the feedback and we take a lot of motivation from the feedback that we get from you. All right. So see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.